What's going on, guys? So I try to get as much good lighting as possible because I didn't want to turn on this light, because then if I turn on this light, then you can't see my face. And I want you to see my face when I look at you and I give you this rating. Uh, but we're here to review Cars 3. Again, I want to do some more kid, you know, PG type movies instead of rated M, rated R, and rated T. Just try to do something a little new. So, and because I've seen the previous movies, but today I'm reviewing Cars 3. A lot of people didn't like Cars 2. I don't even think Cars 2 for me was memorable. Cars 1 was really good though. And now I basically was trying to, I don't know, I guess compare this one to Cars 1, because these are not the same movie, but these share some of the qualities of that, but in a different way. I guess I can explain more in the spoiler section, but I guess right now I'm just gonna tell you what the plot is and tell you what I thought about it and about the characters and how I felt about them and all that. All right, so you got Lightning McQueen. Obviously, he's been racing for God knows how long, and he gets in that wreck, which we see in the trailers, and it doesn't really affect him as much. He kind of I mean, yeah, at first, it does tell us that it's been a while since he's been, recuperating, but then he quickly, at the beginning of the movie, is ready to go back racing. And to do that, he has to train, and he ends up having our secondary character named Cruz, who is a fan of Lightning McQueen, and they basically teach each other throughout this movie what they know. So, and that's basically the main plot without spoiling anything. Besides probably the character. Other than that, pretty simple Cars movie and stuff. There's a lot of other things in this movie that are good. Let me talk about the characters. Lightning McQueen, himself. I felt like his motivation is the same, and that it's been the same since the very first movie. Which is not a bad thing, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, we get it. We've seen this before. But it does change when it gets to the ending. Then it gets way better. But at the beginning, I was kind of in the middle. I was like, you're kind of shaking your head, saying this is the same plot. Like this is like that's what you feel like. It's the same plot, just in a different circumstance. And you do get a payoff, thank God, at the end. But at the same time, it's like, well, the first little bits of drag, but I think the ending really made it better, and I can't talk about the ending until we talk about spoilers. Let's talk about Cruz, because she's a new character to the team here. So she is young car trainer. She trains other cars to race again and stuff, and that's basically what she does. Her backstory is she wanted to be this racer. She wanted to be this racer, but she felt intimidated by the other opponents when she first started racing, and then she quit and became a trainer instead. So that's basically her backstory. A pretty good backstory. I actually enjoyed it. We find that out in the middle of the movie, which is pretty interesting. And it's really cool, at the beginning and the middle of the movie, these two characters kind of talking to each other and communicating with each other isn't how I would want it to be, but at the end, it's a payoff. It does make it a payoff in a way, but it still kind of feels like the same thing. Now, you got your characters from the past. Mater is not in this one as much as he was in the previous movies. Now, in Cars 2, Mater was pretty much not the main character, but he was more like a secondary or a first character. So, like I said, I don't really like to compare this one to number 2. I like to compare it to to like 3. I mean 1 and 3. Those ones are better to compare than this one. So another thing I want to. Okay, we'll talk about that in spoilers. I like to jump to that stuff. But I guess, like, I gave you the plot, I gave you 2 characters, because that's what this is about. It's about those 2 characters, essentially, and, how they deal with, trying to get Lightning to race again. That's what Lightning's trying to do. He's just trying to race again, because he's he doesn't want what happened to Doc to happen to him, and that's basically what drives Lightning to continue to try to race. And that's literally the plot. So I guess I'll give you the rating, and then I will skip to the spoil. I'll get to the spoiler so I can tell you a little bit more about what I liked, didn't like, and stuff like that. All right, so Cars 3. When I think about Cars 3 and I compare it to the very first movie, at the beginning and the middle, it kind of makes you scratch your head and think, what the hell is going? What is it? Ooh, sorry, that one swear word. Not gonna happen again. Where was I? Okay, at the beginning and the middle of the movie, you kind of scratch your head, like, what's going on? I don't get it. What's the point? But then when it does get to the end, it does make the beginning and middle tie together and make sense, and that's what made it a good film. I think if it wasn't for the beginning and the middle and some little nitpicks that I had with the movie, I would give this movie an 8 out of 10. Pretty good movie. With the first Cars movie, coming at probably like a 9. A little bit above. The first one being a little bit above than this one. I'm not reviewing Cars 2, so don't ask. But yeah, it's an 8 out of 10. Stick around if you want to hear spoilers. And I'll give you more about why I gave it what I gave it, and some of the things I liked and didn't like. All right, so 2, 1, spoiler time. All right, so I just lost track of what to say for a second. Maybe because I want to give you more time, just in case you didn't want to hear spoilers. But if you're still here, good for you. All right, so let's talk about the ending, because I talked about the ending a lot of this movie. Okay, so the ending in this movie. All right, so the ending in this movie, I wanted Lightning McQueen to be like Doc was in the very first movie. I wanted Lightning McQueen to be this mentor character for this Cruz character, this girl who wants to race, but she just feels intimidated and she needs a little boost and a little bit of that. I wanted Lightning McQueen to be that mentor figure for her, but the movie doesn't really do that until the very end of the movie, which is one of my problems. It does it a little bit in the middle. It does not do it at all in the beginning, because at the beginning of the movie, it literally goes straight to the scene where he gets wrecked, and then he just kind of comes back, and then he's like, I'm okay, like, let's go again, like, he's still that young kid who wants to keep racing, that's not how I thought this movie was going to be going into the movie, you know what I mean? I wanted it to be more of like this mentor type of movie, but it wasn't, and it was at the end, but it wasn't in the middle. It was a little bit in the middle, but not in the beginning. So I guess what they wanted to do was build it up, but I think maybe they should have just did it a little differently in the beginning, and a little differently in the middle, but the ending was good. The ending was really good. I liked the ending. But like I said, it's those little things that bother me about the movie. And then you got these young cars coming in, and are like, these, you know, like basically telling the old timers that they're done. Basically, they're doing what happened to Doc, when they said that you're done, you're finished, and stuff like that. If you see the movies, all right, so I basically gave you my little 1-2 about it. Now things I did like. I did like how at the end he did decide that he needed to stop, and he needed her to race. That was a really cool thing, and I like the way he pushes her to continue to keep going, to first place. That was a really, really cool thing they did with this movie. I liked how also, it didn't make sense, but I wish they did more, like I wish he taught her how to power slide. I wish he taught her how to, I wish he taught her moves, and, he doesn't teach her much. He just kind of teaches her to push forward, not be intimidated and stuff like that. So that's basically it. So, and that's what I think the theme of this movie is, to not let people intimidate you. So yeah, that's pretty much the theme of the movie. But but yeah, I'm sneezing like crazy. I gotta wrap this one up. But yeah, those are just little nitpicks, and I really like the ending. The ending's really cool. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I know this was kind of rough around the edges. I try to give you things. All I can say is, if you like the first Cars movie, watch it. You're gonna like this one. It was a great kids movie. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much, especially at the beginning, in the middle a little bit. But at the end, it really paid off for me, and that's what made the movie good. Just a few little nitpicks, few things didn't make sense. Like, why the heck were they all of a sudden at this junkyard trash place, and then they're... I don't know how that has anything to do with racing. Like, there are some parts in the movie that just... Like, why? What's going on? Like, but besides that, good movie. I really liked it, and that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm out of here. Up, and away. See you guys.